Chick moms, some of them rich moms, some of them need a stitch. I gotta say there's some of them chic moms. Chic moms. Chic moms. Chic moms. Chic moms. Some of them chic moms.
Hi, Mummies! Welcome back to Chic Mom. So this episode is brought to you by Husatilia, a design studio rooted in human-centered thinking, where spaces are shaped not just to look beautiful but to live beautifully.
At Husatilia, we believe good design is soulful, intentional, and quietly functional, created to support the way you live, move, and feel every day. You can check out their work at We Are Husatilia or contact them at 8023-9623.
Yup, so kalau korang nak renovate rumah, you guys know who to look for.
Yes, bunch of amazing, talented mummies themselves who has exquisite taste in design. Been to their showroom. Cannot stop raving about their showroom. Bila nak pergi
I
ni?
need to go.
You need to go? Next
Bila
year?
nak invite?
Lepas raya kot.
We going there also, right?
Yeah, we should go there. Then they can see siapa sponsor kita. Taste dorang macam mana. I love it. I love the recent home that they did, and I was like recently stalking their works also lah. Memang their colour palette and their design choice.
Betul.
It's very beautiful.
Guys, just stay tuned, okay, for the product talk, our tour to their studio.
Oh yes.
Betul?
Betul?
Okay. And guys, today, Fika nak baca tak?
Boleh. So today punya conversation is a very important one. As mothers, the safety of our children is always our biggest priority. Recently, there was a situation involving a young 4-year-old boy being slapped has raised a lot of concern amongst parents and netizens lah online kan.
Betul.
Yes, today we have his parents here to share, the mum, not to spread negativity but to raise awareness and hopefully help other parents understand how to protect and support our children. Yes.
Yep. So let's invite her mum over.
Yeah, welcome our guests for today. We are now joined by Isaac's mother in our studio. So before we start, maybe you want to give an introduction about yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Faiza. I'm Isaac's mom. 44 years old this year. I'm currently working as a lecturer in one of the higher institution. So a mother of 3, a very passionate mother of my 3 kids. Yep, maybe that's a brief introduction. Yeah,
That's nice.
Yes, thank you for that. So we're not going to waste time. Let's just dive into what happened and what you can share with us.
Sure. So before last weekend, over on Friday, I was at work and I was being contacted by my helper saying that, in Bahasa Indonesia that someone had actually gerpak my son, who is 4 years old. So I thought it was just, a normal conversation where, maybe he plays with another friend or, they play catching or something like that. But she was actually frantically crying. When she was a bit calmer, she said, there's an adult who actually slapped my son twice. And the members of public urged her to actually call me now quickly. So when I saw Isaac, he was actually, he tried to act tough. But then when he saw me on the phone, he literally broke down. So I asked if it's an adult. Then he said, yes, and a grown man, and it's someone's father. So without any further ado, I just went back home lah. Just have a look at Isaac. So when I came back, his cheeks were all swollen up to his ears.
Ya Allah.
It was red. You can literally see some fingerprints, marks there, like the finger marks. So it was very heartbreaking for me as a mother to see a 4-year-old kid who is pretty much unable to defend himself, and with that finger marks on his cheeks swollen. I felt very affected, so I went to KKH to get him checked.
straight away after.
Yeah, straight away, because I just want to make sure that his any injuries, because my main concern is to make sure that he doesn't have internal injury which could affect his hearings,
Yep.
because kid's face is a bit, too small, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I imagine, someone with a man's hand. So just to keep everything aligned, I just went to KKH to get him checked. And in the end, we did X-ray, so he got contusions, which is some swell on the soft upper layer of his tissues, cheek tissues. So we had to do cold compression, and that's it. But what more added to the injury is actually more of his emotions.
Yep.
I think that perturbs me a lot, because he is traumatized, and even on the first night he was weeping in his sleep.
Oh.
So can you imagine looking at your son, and you as a mother wasn't there to protect him, coming back with a mark on his face, and then looking at your son weeping in his sleep. So and every day after that weekend, he keep asking, "Mommy, when's Monday? When's Monday? Is tomorrow Monday?" Well, logically, he doesn't want Monday to come.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to go to school.
Of course.
Yeah, it is very perturbing to see a very joyful, a very happy-go-lucky kind of boy got very, very affected because of a man's ego. So, yep. More or less that was what happened to him. Even 2 days ago, we would try, just say, "Hey, come, let's go to school, let's have fun, we're going to play games and stuff like that." But I think the sight of even to look at his uniform is traumatizing him. He just get cranky, and even now, as before I left, he was very cranky. So the impact of the actions that this person have done to my kid, it's more traumatizing than an injury. It is more on a mental wellness of that kid. He may think that the injuries may have go off, but the impact and the kid's mental is what's more concerning.
Yeah, it has the psychological impact has a
True.
longer lasting effect, and he might go out because he's only 4, so he might go out
True.
into the world thinking any grown adult is gonna slap him or
Yeah.
can slap him.
Yeah.
Now dia budak so innocent and don't know that thing can happen, but now he might think, oh, someone's gonna hit me, and he might grow up with that fear, or we don't know how deep and lasting the incident can cause.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Oh, we were just talking about this yesterday about the incident.
Yeah.
We're so glad to meet you today. Actually, we were
Thank you,
outraged.
thank you.
We were outraged as
Yeah.
parents. Yes.
It is very disturbing, actually. It's totally inappropriate for someone to put a force on a kid who can't defend himself. And what also perturbed me is there were a lot of passerby, and this passerby actually thought that the gentleman, or rather not call him gentleman,
No.
the guy who actually hit Isaac is his father. That's the reason why they did not intercept him. Yeah. So just to make clear on what happened, because some of the comments read as, oh, why nobody the passerby, why the witness do not actually intercept it, why did the witness do not pin him down. So the reason was, they thought that guy is actually Isaac's dad. Yeah. Until, BB actually went back with him, then they realized, how come the father's not traveling with the helper? So, yeah. So that's how it is.
Okay. So I'm just gonna ask you, like, macam, what is the situation now, if you can share, because there might be something similar happening to someone that they might not know what to do. So you went to the hospital.
Yeah.
What was your next course of action?
Okay, so when I went to the hospital, I actually made a report at the hospital, and then the investigation starts on after that. That I think the best thing is when you encounter such thing is to make sure that it is being reported, because you cannot let loose this kind of person scot-free in the public. Because to me, if he could have done it to my son, he could have done it to any kids out there.
Yes.
So I just curious. So anak you tengah main dengan this person punya anak. Are they friends?
Yes, they are classmates. They are friends.
No wonder he.
Yeah, so they were quite attached. I would say these kids have been going together like classmates for many years, so they're close lah. And so apparently they were they were just playing police and thief catching. So out of the excitement of playing the catching, so my son actually do a gun sign, which had been misinterpreted as a middle finger sign. Come on, 4-year-old motor skills, if someone would be able to. And okay lah, even if you think this person thinks that my son have done a middle finger and may misinterpret that as a vulgar sign, it is illogical for a 4-year-old to even know what does that mean.
True.
Yeah. So for somebody to actually react out of rage, it's beyond my expectation lah. Yeah.
Yeah, tu memang anger management issues, because you are a parent yourself. You should understand like a 4-year-old punya depth of understanding, the punya
True.
brain development. They're still in diapers in most cases.
Yeah.
So because the online comments outrage aku gila. I think those are people who are not parents, are trolls, because 4-year-old, what do they know? They can't even go to the toilet themselves.
True.
So yes, I just want to ask you, has it been for you? Because I saw some of the media, they had to shut down their comment section because some of them were very nasty lah, to put it simply.
Honestly, maybe I've shared in my social media. To be honest, I'm not quite affected by the comments, because for me I'm a very rational person. I put aside all my emotions. I will always prioritize what is important at the moment. So I think the most important thing for me is to make sure that Isaac's mental health is being well taken care of.
Yep.
I don't really care on these comments, to be honest, but there are some people who reads it, like my husband, my daughters, and my close friends, and then they will rage themselves, especially my husband. I think it's not fair for some people to actually say, oh, probably the kid actually learned it from the father. On the contrary, my husband, I think he is one of those father who practice, reflections. So when you do something wrong, let's reflect together and see how we can do better. He is that kind of person, and he speaks very calmly with the kids compared to me, I would say. So I think he's more affected than me. Yeah, because it just contradicts with his character, right? So yeah, I think he's affected. And plus my daughters, 12 years old, 11 years old, they are all exposed to social medias. And when they read all these comments about their brother, they get affected naturally. But of course I have to always reverse psychology the kids' mindset lah, and say it's okay, you can't make everybody like you, right? So there will always be some small number of people who may not be aligned with your thoughts.
Yeah, that's true. That's betul lah. Aku was one of the people that it was actually outraged lah by the comments, because it's ridiculous.
So people were saying if dia boleh support Isaac,
Yeah.
how about the kids himself?
I saw like those like older people lah yang dah berhijrah daripada Facebook, pergi dekat TikTok, pergi dekat Instagram, guys.
I didn't know there's a TikTok also.
Yes, like those article yang quite true. So they
okay.
said like, back in my day, okay, we are in this current day and age, we are breaking cycles. Absolutely not. A grown man does not hit a child in any circumstance. Yeah, no.
Yep.
Yeah, stop that. Go back to Facebook.
Yeah. So what perturbed me is also that these people who actually say it out loud, like, oh, if the parents will not be able to manage the son, let the society do it. And sadly, the people who actually say all this are the ones who actually of the same faith. Yeah, and it's very disappointing to see, even the profile pictures have kids, come on, at the end of the day, I think we all believe in the same faith, and the same faith says, the kids are always macam kain putih. So we have to lentur them from the young, right?
Yes.
So mungkin pada pandangan dia, anak saya mungkin tak cukup adabnya, tapi it's just not right for this person to actually put hands on my kid. Itu bagi saya lah. Mungkin bagi perspektif setengah masyarakat, anak saya tu mungkin kurang daripada what a 4-year-old should behave. But then again, it gives you no right
To put hand on him.
to put hands. Yes.
And you can be the best of parents, but a child is going to pick up what they see
Yeah.
outside, no matter what. Kau boleh be the perfect parents,
Yeah.
but they're going to mimic what they see and do and try test the water and see, because
True.
they're at the age where they're exploring, they're
Yeah.
learning. Diorang pun tak faham tu apa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Betul.
Yeah. Maybe you want to ask, because like we should also educate kita in society.
Yeah.
Like what the view on children is, because looking at the punya online comments, I really question like how people view children in Singapore, because it's quite scary. Macam, yes, the child deserve to be slapped. Semua is crazy,
It's
bro.
crazy. It's
That's crazy thing
yeah.
to say.
Yeah, I was very perturbed to the fact that this comes from our society. It's okay for them to say to put hands on a kid. I think it's not right.
Yeah.
So one of the objectives there, I agree to come and sit here, is basically to advocate that it is really not okay. For me to go through that as a mother of the affected child, it is very heartbreaking. Yeah. For the kid to actually sit down, and then from a jovial kid to macam budak yang like termenung, thinking so it takes time for us. Even today when I want to coax him to go to school, he's a bit like reluctant, but then again we have to keep using psychology, and it's tiring, not only to him but to me. Yeah. And not only that, the people around him is also affected. Don't forget that my helper, who witnessed the whole incident, she wished she could have done better. She wished, and in fact, like me, I wished I could have been there to protect my kid. As a mother, we naturally are very protective about our kids. I'm not sure about maybe the family of the other person, but then again, for me as a mother, I would be someone who protect my daughters, my son, and make sure that we support them in whatever they do. So to hear that my kid actually face this aggressor alone, and me not able to do it, to do anything, I feel pain lah.
Yeah.
Okay, I cannot imagine until today, when the bystander and witness was telling me, it was really a hard slap. It was really a hard slap. And then when my helper said, he hold my son by the collar and then slap him, I cannot imagine. I
dare
cannot
him,
imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot imagine.
But is it true he went to the teacher to inform?
Yeah, he did. I'm not sure what he was intent, but I didn't know what was his intent. But yes, what I was being relayed, he did, probably just to justify his acts, but it's just not right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, can you?
What's the right way to do kalau a budak macam tak
Yeah,
sengaja?
we were actually discussing this yesterday, because I am the kind of adult, if I'm in the playground, I see kids getting bullied or something is not right, I will police.
I'll speak up.
I will speak up and
Yes,
say, you
for the
shouldn't
kid.
do that.
Yeah,
I
true.
will bilang, tapi I won't go to the extent of hitting
Slapping,
someone's child.
yeah,
No, that's
true.
crazy.
You should not. You should.
Marah pun takut juga. Like, I would just say, no, that's
Yeah.
not right. That's not nice. Yeah.
Ideally, for my situation, if I do see someone who a kid who misbehave, I think probably I'm more ibu yang lebih tua daripada you all kan. Maybe I would probably think I will just approach the mummy and I'll just feedback nicely, because at the end of the day, it's all about constructive feedback. If you're going to, what's the objective of your feedback? It's for that person to actually take it positively and learn from it. So I would probably approach the mummy or approach or tell him nicely, the kid, saying you cannot do that, because it's just not right. People might take it differently. So talk nicely lah.
Yeah.
Bukan terus approach and think
Jalan
that
tangan.
jalan tangan. It's just not right.
It's
just
not once but twice dia sepak.
And not once, not twice. Tapi to also threaten my kid that you're going to break my kid's finger, that's pain.
I did not know that part.
That's pain. I didn't know that part too. My helper didn't tell me, but the witness shared with me. So imagine, a kid tengok, like, somebody's going to break my finger. And pergi sekolah is the same venue kan. And then so they're traumatized lah from there. So yeah.
Is he like taking, if I can ask, like taking some days off from school, or dia cakap tak nak tukar sekolah ke macam?
No, okay. Honestly, he's very comfortable with the teachers here. He has been with the teachers since playgroup, since he was like a year plus. So we also stay quite a distance from where his school is. But the main thing is because he's very familiar with the teachers. Teachers semua sayang dia pun sayang teacher. So I don't see a reason why I should move him out from the school.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Betul.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I'm glad that the teachers are all very supportive of him.
That's good.
And today when dia datang, he was being hugged and then he was being coaxed. And Alhamdulillah, when they see him, naturally he also like, okay, I want to see my teachers. Like, although dia macam cebik-cebik kan, tapi he knows, he also want to be part of the class.
Kesian. And Alhamdulillah lah, like he's
moving on, slowly lah insyaAllah. Tapi macam kakak-kakak dia pun try hard to make sure that he's back to his old self, getting his gifts, making his days and stuff like that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Tanya. Yeah, we did list down a few questions to ask you. So,
Actually, semua dia dah macam kakak dah.
So there was also another thing, if I may share.
Yeah.
When he was slapped, he actually said something like not pain. Yeah. He said not pain. So I don't know if that had triggered the aggressor to actually slap him for the second time.
Yes.
So initially when I asked him, Isaac, why did you say not pain? Then he said, oh, because Isaac play silat, right, mommy? So play silat, cannot cry, right? So he is trying to put a brave front, I guess. But if I may also clarify here or maybe justify, martial art for kids is not to suppress their emotions. That means it's not just to say, oh, you are a silat and then you cannot cry, you cannot cry because you're strong. No, it's not that totally. Basically, to have a kid enroll in martial arts, okay, basically is to discipline them, to mold them to have some more resilient. That means dia ada discipline, dia tahu macam mana nak react. So I find that, when my son actually did not retaliate, did not react to him, but instead say it's not pain, it's just him trying to mask his fear.
Yeah.
As a 4-year-old, he's just trying to mask his fear and say it's not pain. Yeah.
It's very understandable. As a parent, we can understand. And how innocent is that macam response bila dia cakap, oh, because kat silat, we're not supposed to like rasa pain. That's how like macam cetek tu orang fikir. It's like so innocent and naive. And he's trying to put up a brave front because dia takut actually.
Betul. That's what we covered the other time. Like actually kids can cry.
Yeah.
Yes, kids can cry. And he does cry, of course. At home, when he's a normal kid. It's not like every time dia jatuh, dia tak nangis ke, ataupun orang kacau dia tak nangis ke. No, he cries like normal kids. But at that spur moment, it's how he masks his feelings.
Yeah, betul. Yeah.
Yep. And in fact, the recent conversation that I had with him, along with some of my friends, we were asking him, so you were in silat, right? So why are you not defending yourself? Another thing that he responded to us was, but he's not the same weight.
Tengok, pandai.
Tangan lelaki tu dah sama size dengan kepala. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but he's not the same weight. You see, that shows that my son understand what is happening, and that reflects, a lot of his trauma, because dia faham yang dia kena pukul. Dia faham dia kena pukul depan kawan-kawan sekolah dia. Okay, let's not talk about him. Let's talk about the kids that witness.
Yes.
Let's talk about the people who have seen, the parents. It is not just affecting us, but it's also affecting the other kids. Yeah, so I've also, some people have also feedback to me, anak aku pun nampak macam gitu. So, how?
Yeah.
It's a lot to sponge in, but I'm glad I be able to use this platform to share with you ladies on what is my perspective lah. I mean, no matter what, kita tak boleh educate orang macam tu. Even if it's adult, you're not supposed to use harm to even another adult.
Betul lah. It's like those people say that it's okay. I feel like you're condoning physical violence. You're saying it's okay to hit someone if they did this. No, it's not. It's never
not.
okay.
Yeah.
And you can see like, like Faiza, how well she's how well she speaks, carries herself, and you can understand how she like cares for Isaac. So sekarang this netizen memang trolls lah.
Salah anggap lah.
Salah anggap, and just make assumptions. I don't think some people even read the headline that it was a 4-year-old boy.
Betul.
Yeah.
Diorang sembarang je. So
Yeah. So if I may ask, what will you do if you were in my situation?
kita tanya Jane dulu.
Kita cekik dah. Tak boleh kan, tak boleh cekik-cekik.
Tak boleh.
Sebab kita tak boleh sentuh.
Tak boleh.
I will do the same thing.
Yeah.
Bawa pergi hospital and then I will.
Yes. Whatever it is, remember, don't take actions on with your own
Because
hands.
now generation is totally different and
Yes.
not like last time.
Yep. It's totally different. We're not the kind where, the parents can just suka-suka pukul.
Datang, pekik-pekik.
Pekik. Even pekik also, you are mentally, psychologically
Trauma
affecting.
budak tu
affecting
akan
him.
go through.
Yes.
Low-key dia tak akan share tapi dia akan jadi pendiam.
Dia
Yes.
takut
Dia
budak tu.
takut.
Yeah.
It take time to recover from trauma.
True.
Yeah. So
Yep.
So I think it's the same route lah. Like we have to do it black and white. Pergi hospital, check anything, and then make the necessary reports. Lepas tu kau jaga. Kita dah settle.
Tak boleh. Tak boleh.
Tak salah.
turun balik sini.
Turun balik lah.
Walaupun belajar silat pun
Just kidding, guys. Tak betul lah. Like, sometimes you let your emotions get the best of you. You cannot make rational decisions and look at the guy that slapped the boy because they let dia punya emotions control dia kan?
Yes.
Without thinking. So tak boleh lah. Like I was just joking. Kita tak boleh kasih as adults here. We cannot let it get the best of us.
Yeah. If I may interchime on that,
Yeah.
What is also affecting, probably we may not have seen this in his perspective, is his family would also be equally affected, kan?
I was about to say,
Yeah.
I wonder what his wife is going through.
And maybe the
now.
kids,
yeah.
probably witness what the father did, or maybe it's just not positive, right? Even for the kid to see all this.
Yeah.
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 Do you think like the person that sepak tu had his own childhood trauma? Like why he's behaving like that?
Possibly, kan? It could
Yeah.
be
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
hard to say, It could be maybe one of the thing is probably they might say, oh, it's a spur of moment as an adult, or it's a spur of moment. Maybe that situation probably triggered his anger. But it's very important to also analyze what are the sequential of the incident. For example, like for my case, is actually he hold Isaac's hand first. He pulled Isaac's hand to my helper, and he asked, "Are you the mother?" So that's already one. So it's already his intent. And then he apologized. He said to my helper is, please inform your the parents he's doing this, which is the right way. But number one, for you to hold my kid and then bring it over to my helper is also involuntary causing harm.
yeah.
Yeah. So, well, according to section, I think 74B, the penal code, it clearly indicates that if you hurt a minor who is a 14-year-old and below, even the penalty can be double. Yeah. So it is clearly not alright. So itu intent dia, number one. And then, when you actually hold up my kid, and my if I may add on, my helper actually apologized to him.
Oh.
So my helper said, "Oh, saya minta maaf. I'm so sorry." And before anything, he just put his actions on my son. So the intent, the sequential too, is also important. So if you say it is a spur of moment, the intent too is also something that we have to make sure that kita jaga. kita punya rage lah.
Betul. And I wonder what happens like behind closed doors, because if you're so comfortable like slapping, hitting other people's kids, what about your kids? I'm sorry you opened the door, walk into it. Like I question lah. Betul tak? Yeah, macam what happens behind closed doors of these parents yang macam wah suka-suka pekik, marah, pukul anak sendiri. Like maybe we have to keep an eye out on the classmate also anak
Betul.
dia. Yeah, like
Classmates, neighbours. If you
Yeah.
see maybe your neighbours have been very loud enough to discipline their kids like that. So I think it's about time you should be responsibly asked. Maybe the kid, how's things today? How are you? How's your day?
yeah.
Yeah. So for me, naturally, like I've shared, I'm an educator. So when I see my students, I would also be asking them, like, hey, how's things? How's your day? How's your weekend? So in a way, we can roughly gauge and process what they've gone through. Yeah. So if you can see someone macam a bit down, so you can ask, hey, how's things? So similarly lah, I think. Yeah.
And that's how we can care for each other as a like community,
Yeah.
society, as neighbours.
Actually,
also.
aku pun nervous. Bukan nervous. Aku pun worried. What if anak aku go down with helper? Macam now, dia buat aku rasa takut. To other parents juga.
Betul.
What if a stranger can do that to our own kid?
Yeah.
Takkan nak ajar maid buat karate kan?
Belajar silat pula.
Belajar silap pula Tak.
Yeah.
Quite scary.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think what's important is for us to look after each other
Betul.
and be kind to each other. And then, always think that, just share lah. Just share and care about each other.
Betul. Yeah, I think we should like macam yes. I totally agree with what she said lah. Because we can't always be there for our kids. We
Yeah.
have to rely on each other,
Yeah,
our
betul.
community, to make sure are you okay? Check on each other, kan?
Be nicer lah.
Be nice lah. Be kind. The world is really so rough.
Yes.
Right, as it is. Okay, lastly, we wanted to ask if the guy is watching, what would you want to say or advise to him to do better as a father or as an adult?
Oh, this is really, really tough for me. All I can say to him is whatever you do to my son is injustice. It is just not the way it was supposed to be for a grown man to treat a 4-year-old kid. Especially, like my kid have been your son's friend for many years. And it's okay. I think what's done cannot be undone. But justice must be upheld. For now, we will focus on working on my sons. But like I said, what's done cannot be undone. I just wish you all the best and don't do it to anyone else. It's very, very painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tak boleh lah.
Also, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
Thank you for being vulnerable and strong for joining us today to share
Yeah.
this, because it's not easy to.
It's not easy,
Yeah, it's not easy. So we appreciate it so much for you coming here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Thank you for having me. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it for this episode.
See you guys the next one. Bye.
Bye. Hi, welcome back everyone with host Atilia. So, inilah time-time kita dapat belajar pasal interior design and questions kita nak dapat tahu sebab apa ni, kitchen mafia ke, like advice.
Sebab tak senang nak jumpa orang-orang pakar macam gini.
Yes, betul
And bila kau nak enter in, kau rasa intimidated tau. Macam kau think about the money, kau think macam, will they understand my weirdness of the mafia kitchen?
Oh, macam, is my question so stupid? So macam kita will ask the stupid questions or silly questions lah. I would say macam sometimes it's like basic, tapi kita tak tahu kan first time kan kita buat. So actually kan, our question today is actually, can you walk us through timeline or the stages of renovation?
Ya, aku nak tahu juga.
Yeah, you said macam roughly about 3 months, but macam
Apa
mana
dia
tu?
punya step Macam
Yeah, so it really depend on the works that is required to do. So macam like we say full house renovation kan. So you will start with hacking works and then we will follow with masonry. So kalau conceal, you require conceal wiring, then we will do electrical first. And then we will do, after masonry done, we will do the carpentry measurement. So yang buat lambat usually is the fabrication of the carpentry. Yeah, so that one will take 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
one
Tu-
month.
yeah.
Carpentry yang buat lama lah usually.
Correct. So depend on berapa banyak the carpentry. So it can be as fast as 2 weeks atau up to 1 month lah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So for wiring kan, usually apply on resale ke BTO also? Both? Or?
Both, yeah.
So BTO pun kena buat wiring?
Yes.
Yes.
They
But it
already-
it also depends on how much you want to invest on your lighting also.
Maksudnya macam I nak jalan lampu tu kat situ tapi I nak tukar pergi tempat lain
Yes.
It can be that, it can be you nak tambah, it can be you need more power point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kalau for BTO, they already have existing points. So usually it's more of shifting points or add point aja.
Is it cheaper?
Relatively.
Okay.
But kalau you adventurous, it can be as much as a resale flat also.
Ujung lubang tu kau nak buat ujung.
Yes.
Okay, jalan wire panjang, every meter kira.
Cik,
Aku step.
every meter kira.
Per point lah.
Yeah, it's per point.
Okay, aku tak tahu, aku tanya je.
Yeah, it's okay.
want to know,
It's good
yeah.
to us because even for us, it's something that we know every day. But it's good for you guys to ask because we don't know what
You
guys don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, actually kan, betul lah. I didn't know. So, and I remember them saying like people underestimate how much you spend for electrical punya ni
Yep.
Yeah.
works for renovation, especially rumah lama. I think for my case, a lot of
Yes.
money goes into that because
Yes.
banyak teropen kan.
Yeah. Of course, rumah tu dah lama. Therefore, most likely you want to do rewiring for the whole house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, rewiring mahal?
Yes.
So buat balik semua.
So BTO is provided.
Yeah.
Kita tukar whatever that is provided.
Okay, so BTO kita pakai the same thing, cuba nak
Tambah.
tambah.
Atau shift.
Noted.
She's on her electrician.
Yeah, I like lights, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like to you it matters For my husband it matters. Aku tak kisah.
For me matters.
Oh,
Aku
okay.
suka light. I'm a light freak. That light design.
Lanjut pula dah.
Boleh jadi lighting specialist.
Jangan sort sudahlah.
Okay.
Pernah kena karen tak?
Jangan
Alhamdulillah.
tanyalah sponsor kita. Balik pernah kena current. Ada orang masuk produk tahu ni. Pernah kena current.
Tapi pernah nampak orang kena. Cool saya.
Renovation lah.
Yeah, because it's like electrician tengah nak adjust, then dia pegang. Then I can literally see the current go inside his body and the
But you can see like
you can see that the macam
lightning Bukan.
something like that.
Kau tengok, kau interested kan?
It's cool.
That's kena ada Jane. She asked the real questions.
Then dia macam dia tengah adjust tapi dia pegang then dia then like wah. But luckily I'm not
Nak
like
pegang pun tak boleh.
tanah.
Cannot touch,
Yeah.
cannot touch.
Kena pakai kayu angkat.
Nak flip
Aduh. Okay, so sorry kita dah pergi jauh lagi macam tadi. Dah selesai.
Guys, ni dah selesa sangat tau.
Dah selesai pada question lagi.
Back to your question.
Stages.
Baru sampai electrical.
Baru sampai electrical.
Yeah, so after carpentry, fabrication, then will be the installation. Then installation will be the worktop measurement lah.
Oh.
So that one all very fast. So after the stage worktop tu semua is all finishing.
Okay.
Yeah, so all that will take about 1.5 to 3 months lah.
Okay. Actually good to know also lah So tahulah bila nak buat carpentry lagi kalau macam very difficult punya design. For me I think my carpentry confirm leceh sebab kita tak ada storeroom. For me tak ada storeroom, a lot of smart storage needed.
Aku ada one question. Kalau batu tu macam tak macam apa ni? Tak smooth. Korang
Plaster.
apa tu macam polish batu tu tak? Kasih macam nampak macam very smooth.
Batu kat wall.
Wall. Maksud I
Oh,
wall.
you mean the wall?
Dinding, ya.
Wall dengan batu lain first.
Okay. I
So
tak tahu.
kalau wall, like rock wall, kita boleh.
Rock wall means macam BTO house bukan rock wall eh?
Tak. If you want plaster semua boleh. Yeah.
Macam nak nampakkan sand down the wall. Ada orang kan nak nampak dia punya batu macam dekat dekat art museum. So batu diorang tu nampak macam betul kena sand down.
Okay, so that kind, right, is not really sand down. It's actually a type of material on the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, so yes, they sand down, but they even use a polishing kind of equipment to polish the wall. Yeah, itu harga dia.
Naik
There are experts in Singapore that does that.
Oh, that's crazy. No,
yeah.
just tanya out of the box.
Bagus.
Oh yeah, actually aku tak boleh imagine what wall you're talking about.
Sebab aku went to a person house. Lepas tu dia explain tu aku bawa batu dia. Dia macam, oh ni another level. But batu dia nampak cantik lah. Rumah dia betul-betul macam kena,
Macam polish, is almost like marble looking gitu kan.
ya macam very smooth lah gitu. Something like that lah.
Aku ada cerita. Actually kan recently we did a shoot for an architect. So diorang design masa rumah dekat central area, like really design. So kita kena shoot bukan aku lah, laki aku lah. So rumah-rumah next level, orang kaya punya, tak ada, no budget. The budget is a no budget.
Masya Allah.
So toilet dia, bila kau cakap batu tu, aku teringat dia is really a batu. It's a type of a full slab of a type of stone. I forgot the name. But my husband was sharing this. He said like that one was so beautiful, and then he was telling the architect like this is so beautiful lah. And she said, oh, it's very beautiful because it's alive. It was alive.
Huh?
So macam boleh nampak tau texture dia lain.
Wow.
So macam the things that he call out macam lawa, oh because that thing was alive. That's why macam kau nampak. And harga dia memang
That thing was alive.
ya, macam batu lah, macam it's nature. It's not macam apa ni, man-made lah. Ya.
Understand. I
But-
thought it's like an animal, the lenyek kind or something.
Another level.
Itu the Epstein files bukan?
Extreme file. Semalam aku tanya dia tak nak jawab.
Itu dah Jane tu kena buka podcast baru dah, panjang satu.
Criminal
But yeah, it's really lain level lah, rumah-rumah orang yang tak ada budget. Like
Yes,
money is not an issue. They really can import batu mana-mana buat untuk shower wall.
Tu yang best untuk korang.
Tu korang enjoy
Itu wow.
Dia punya sink dia macam satu rod gitu. Habis air keluar gitu. Aku tak faham lah taste orang kaya ni. Sink cuci tangan tau tu.
Kat atas.
Dia rod. Aku tak tahu macam nak describe. Macam it's like a
Macam
rod.
pipe.
Dia macam pipe gitu. And then dia macam a bulb. And then kau wash your hand under the sink there. Wow. Macam ambil wuduk gitu. Tak functional.
Ada tak? Kan ada pipe yang macam bila masuk tangan dia auto kan. Tu mahal tak?
The sink itself is expensive lah. The tap itself is expensive. Tapi kat Singapore, kat rumah nak pakai tu,
Ya, tak praktikal lah.
Sebab kita Melayu makan pakai tangan apa? Nasi.
true, pandai.
Cik tak nak nasi.
But yeah, of course the price a bit mahal.
Yeah.
Okay, I save up first I got 2 more years. I find you guys. But first, I need to think of my concept lah.
Yeah.
Mafia boss.
Maaf ya, maybe I change lah. Quite scary.
But that would be cool to have.
Yeah.
Lain room, lain team lah. Why not?
BTO di rumah boleh buat?
Boleh mas sekarang if you see macam-macam orang buat.
Ya.
Ada gua kat rumah pun ada.
Apa?
Gua.
Gua?
Nowadays is a trend like
Betapa?
I don't know, but they have even a big stone in their house.
Oh.
Sebesar-besarnya orang, lagi besar dari orang pun ada.
Like as
exactly.
macam
A feature.
feature lah.
In front of their entrance.
Huh?
Agaknya is a feng shui thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
Something new.
Kau nak ada water fountain kat rumah?
Dia kata luck kan untuk orang bangsa asing.
Bangsa asing.
Formalnya.
Fountain
Yeah, but would you like want to have like running water somewhere in the house? Quite interesting
I don't want to mention. Wait.
Betul aku pun fikir bil air.
Tu lah. Water fountain kau nak datang bayar ke? Tak nak gurau-gurau. Kalau ada yang kreatif, yang cantik, why not? Tengoklah mana.
Tapi takut anak
Yeah.
Lah, betul lah.
water fountain je.
Balik rumah basah.
Rumah dah kecil. Dah tak water fountain, balik dah jadi flood.
Atau you tengok dia tengah mandi kat fountain tu.
Tak lah, I change my mind. I don't want. You
Yeah, I don't want. Maybe if I live in a very big house. Patutlah fountain kat rumah orang besar je lah. Faham? Satu rumah tak banjir.
Okay guys, that's it for today. So if you guys nak cari interior designer, boleh find them Who's Atelier at 80239623.
Bye.
Bye.